Hello. For my master's program, I'm taking a class right now on collaboration, and I've been asked to give a presentation on some of the things that I've learned. So I've chosen interpersonal competence. Hopefully the PowerPoint shows up to you. Everything that I'm taking came from a book by Friend and Cook in 2014 called Interactions, Collaboration Skills for School Professionals. So what is interpersonal competence? The more technical definition is it's the cognitive and behavioral skills necessary to effectively communicate and interact with others. And if I were to put it more simply, it is the ability to interact and get along with others in a positive way. There are two main parts of interpersonal competence. The first is perspective, and the second is perception, and we'll talk about both of those. So perspective, it's all of the different things that you bring to the table. Those things include values and beliefs, past experiences, professional preparation, attitudes, personal qualities, and behavior in general. So I'll be sending this PowerPoint to you, and I would encourage you to think about those different things that make up your perspective. So perception, to get an idea of what perception is, I want you to look at these items, and I want you to think about how you would categorize these items if you were asked to. Now that you've had plenty of time to do that, I want you to think how you did that. Did you put toys in one category? Did you base them on material, by color? How did you categorize them? Did you categorize everything, or did you kind of push them to the side? This idea of categorizing and focusing all has to do with perception. Because we have so much stimulus going on around us at all times, think about all the noises that you're hearing right now, the things that you're seeing, the conversations around you. We can't focus on all of that and make meaning, so we have to select, and that plays into our perception of what is going on. So perception has kind of four components. The first one is selecting, and that is deciding what you are going to focus on. The second one is organizing, which is putting things into categories based on similarities. The third thing is interpreting, which is assigning meaning, and that is affected by the perspectives that you just thought about, those things you bring to the table. And then finally is negotiating, where you create a shared meaning with other people as you discuss and you talk about it. And these don't happen in a set order. It's kind of like a rotation. So I want you just to think, have you ever walked away from a meeting and talked to a coworker and decided you got a completely different thing from it than they did? Or did you ever go to a movie and walk away with a different idea of what happened than your other friend? These are both examples of perception, that the things you chose to select, that put into categories, are different than what other people decided to select. So how do we improve the accuracy of our perceptions? In this book, Marilyn Friend and Lynn Cook gave 5 suggestions, and because we're teachers and we're super busy and super overwhelmed, I want you just to pick one to really focus on and try to change a little bit. So the first one is to understand your personal views. Be aware of your biases and your viewpoints. For instance, I really like great deals, so sometimes I focus in on the deal and forget about the fact that it might not be high quality. Those are biases, and we all have them. We just need to be aware of those. The second one is to analyze your personal state and your emotions. So how does your emotional and physiological state influence you? For instance, hunger for me is it's a real thing. When I am hungry, I have a more negative perception on everything in life than if I am well-fed and well-rested. So be aware of those different things and how your perception of a situation might be different based on your emotional state or your physiological state. The third one is to avoid early conclusions. And this, you can see the difference between mindful and mindful, where we come with those preconceived notions, and we need to make sure that we're getting all of the information to make sure that what we chose to focus our attention on is really the full picture. The fourth thing is to seek clarification. Ask questions, ask the people, is this really what you meant? Those different things, so that you can get the full picture and not just half of the picture. And the fifth thing is to watch for confirmation or disconfirmation biases. We look for what confirms our opinions and tend to shy away from what doesn't confirm our opinions. Just think about salon gossip. I can find 5 people that if I'm mad at somebody, they will tell me I'm justified in that. On the other hand, I can find 5 people who, if I'm mad at somebody, will disconfirm that and help me to see that maybe I'm not quite right in my thinking. So just a final thought on this whole idea of interpersonal competence. In this book, they say your perceptions and prejudgments strongly influence your understanding of others and their communication with you. You can become more aware of how you perceive others and learn to consider multiple perspectives of others by constantly challenging yourself to develop alternative explanations for other statements. This is a really hard thing to do, but I know that we will be better teachers, we'll be better coworkers, and we'll be better family members if we can develop some of these interpersonal skills.